Well, Hidden Animals is the brand new release from hot off the press, and we're here to give you some ideas of how to use that. Now, this is in addition to the ideas that are on the back of the packaging, ideas like this. So we hope that you will please come play with us. Well, before we get into the projects, let me just walk you through what's here. So there is Hidden Animals chipboard and cutting dies, and there's also Hidden Animals 6x6, 12x12 cardstock, solid cardstock, as well as die cuts. Now, for the the patterned, let me just walk you through the sheets. And Hidden Animals, you can really see it on this first sheet. That little owl is just peeking through the flowers and the foliage. On the back side of this sheet, there's more blue, just to give you even more. Now we have some bunnies in this one peeking at the corners. The back side is that same tan, beautiful color. We have raccoons peeking here through the raspberries and bushes. And on the back side, we have more green. This one, we've got the deer. So you can see right here and up in the corner on that pretty pink and the foliage right there. These are the larger cutouts. Now they measure about 4 inches by about 5.5 inches. And there's a bear right there, the other animals, a fox. And on the back side, we've got some wood. And here's some of the cutouts that are in the set. You're going to get 2 of all of these sheets. You'll notice that these have artwork and greetings both. The ones without greetings, you can layer, you can put dazzles on them, you can do stamping, so many things. But we really want to give you these tools so that you can create. And on the back side, we've got a darker green. So these are going to be the sheets that are in your 12x12, plus the 56 cutouts, plus on the back of the package, oh my goodness, there is a scrapbook page and there's a card. But let me show you that scrapbook page in just a moment. Right now, I want to show you the solid. Now, the solid cardstock is also 12x12. There are 12 sheets and there are 12 colors. And we do that because on the front, this one you can see kind of a medium blue, and on the back side, there's a darker blue. Same with the green, and then on the back side, a lighter green. We have a black in here with a tan on the back side, and we have a brown with a different tan. And this is kind of a rust with a pink on the back side, and then you can see there's kind of a craft with white on the back side. And we make sure that when we do the solids, not only do they coordinate with our papers, but they will also work with the cutting dies. Speaking of which, let me show you the cutting dies. And there are a dozen of them on the sheet, and you can see some of the animals that we've talked about that are in the packaging. And this card actually does a nice job of showing you. So you can see the fox. So we have the whole fox head and neck, but then we have another one that is just the head. And this is just the perfect way that you can use that. So the head kind of is lifted with foam tape, and when you just rub an ink pad or do a blending brush over it, it's just gorgeous. There's the deer with leaves around her neck and in her antlers or by her ears. So we've got a bunny as well as an owl, plus the word hello, as you can see, and some extra pieces too. Then we also have the die cuts. You'll see some of those used in a moment. There are 2 different sheets, and the 6x6, as I said. And the 6x6, you are going to get 4 of each sheet, so that's nice to have. And then the chipboard, and we'll get in closer, and you can see that there is artwork and lines within the chipboard, which just makes it pop when you go to do some coloring. So these are the pieces. And I do want to show you a scrapbook page before we begin. This is the one that's on the back of the package. And you can see this is on the raccoons. And there are 4 photographs that are double matted and just overlapping each other. There's one of the die cuts. And also the remember on the cutting dies, I said there's extra foliage. Well, that's been beautifully added here on top of the foliage that's in the artwork. And then some of our caviar beads, and I'll be telling you more about them when we get into the project. So this is our page. We don't want to leave out our scrapbookers. Of course we don't. But let's get into the projects for today. Now, this is what Lene has done. And this is using, we're starting with the 6x6. And she has placed, let me grab the papers just so you can really see them up close and personal. So on the raccoon sheet, so this is a 6x6. On the back, just like the 12x12, there's greenery. And Lene has decided to use this sheet to go on the front of her card. Now, she didn't need to trim it down because our card is 5 by 6.5 inches. I thought it was interesting with her choice of what colors to put with it. And she elected to use the pink that is in the solid cardstock. And so she matted that. And when she glued it to the front of her card, I thought it was really clever that she glued it next to the fold of the card. And that just did a really nice job of just giving you a little bit more room of the white on three sides. So that was our first step. And then she used the die cuts. Now here are the 2 sheets. Remember I said there's 2 sheets in each pack. They are 2 different sheets, as you can tell. And in this one, she elected to go with the ovals. So she used, I appreciate everything you do, but while having that, she went back to another sheet of the raccoons and used our oval dies. Ooh, sorry. Let me stop. I just scared my puppy. Just a second. I'll be right back. Yes, it's true. My Australian Shepherd Belle is beside me as I tape and as I do anything else. And she got kind of startled by the gingerbread ink pad that went flying off the table. So she's all calm now. So anyway, Lene took the oval and she took the, not the scallop, but the plain, and die cut around this area just to have a duplicate of the oval. Now she did use that gingerbread ink pad, and here it is. She used that on the edges of that oval. She also used it on the edges of the matted cardstock. So those 2, and gingerbread is something that she uses a lot of, so it's just nice to know that it's still here. And we will save that for another card. Okay. Now, these 2 are overlapping. They're glued flat. And then she also took more of the die cut. So you see this border has the rabbits on it. Well, she cut it and just glued 1 piece here. And then she went into this little one. There's always that little one, and placed it right here. So they're kind of coming down from that matted paper. So that's nice. Now the accents that she's used are these, and let me bring them in. So copper is just such an excellent color to go with all of this. And we have the ferns in copper, and I've pulled off the backing just so you can really see them. They are just quite gorgeous. And you can see that she's just placed 1 right there. And she has used the copper jewel dazzles. This is the sheet that has 540 pieces just on 3 of the corners. Now her bow has been done out of the crepe ribbon set, and it's been a while since we've seen this. The crepe ribbon is so wonderful because you can do your bows, zot them in place, and they are still going to look great even when they're put into an envelope and mailed. The recipient is going to be very pleased with them. So that's going to work nicely. And we're going to see this in some other of the projects. Now on the inside of her card, she has used the back side of our deer, because that is pink. Again, this has a border all the way around, and she elected to just use the piece. Of course, she had to trim it down to go inside. She used the gingerbread on the edges, and then she did use the oval on another area of the green. That way she's got a place to write her message. You see how beautiful that fern goes right around that oval? And this is the other piece of this. Remember that border was long? So it's right there. Many thanks. Well, the many thanks is also part of the die cuts. And we always have these shorter words, and that works just really, really nice. So you can see that just crosses. We've got some of the jewel dazzles right there. Now, this little piece let me show you that. That is from the chipboard. And let me show you the piece out of the package. And she has used just this little one, and I think she used that because she wanted to get the pink in there, so because that's in these papers. So she used 2 of the Tri-Blend markers. This is bright pink blend and citrus green blend. So obviously the citrus green is on the stem and the leaves. The pink is right there. Because there are 3 colors in every single one of the pens, there's a light, medium, and a dark. You can see there's a dark toward the stem, and then it's lighter toward the edges. And I think that's a really, really good look. So that takes, and you can just glue that straight down. So that works very nicely. Okay, that is our first card. And let's pop into our second. So this time, she has used 12 by 12 papers, or cardstocks, but she has matted them again. So let me pull those out just so that you really get a really nice view of them. And this is, and those of you who have watched the webisodes understand that what we do when we design is that we make sure on our 12 by 12s there's plenty of empty space to put your photos. That's going to always work. But then we make sure that there is art to go on cards, on 4 cards as a matter of fact. And this is just a great example. Again, our 5 by 6.5 inch card. You can see that this was trimmed down to fit there. And even when it goes on the card, there's room for you to be creative. So we always do that. Now this was matted on the green. And so there you can see that. And you can see as I place them together just why she chose that. Now on this time, she also did some inking, this time only on her deer page, the pink page, and this time she used cocoa bean. And so cocoa bean, gingerbread are the 2 that Lene likes to use. And then placed it on the card. Now let me tell you about the card. I said it was 5 by 6.5, I think, but that's wrong. It's 5 by 7. And these are the tent cards by Hunky Dory. They come in a package, 10 cards, 10 envelopes. And because they're a tent card, they will stand like that, but they have the fold at the narrow end. So that's what makes them a tent. And that just works nicely. Now, Lene also used the cutting die. Remember, I showed you that with the fox. But she also used it with the deer, and here's the deer. And in the cutting die, you can see the leaves are embossed or debossed on it, but there is an extra piece right here that will fit right over the neck. There's the ears and the antler, and then some leaves, but there's a second piece that will fit on top. And that's what Lene has done, as you can see. So she's used the brown cardstock and the dark brown, and then she did some of the inking with the cocoa bean, and so there are the leaves in green. Now you can see that there are some black beads, and over here on the art there are some green beads, and those are our new caviar beads. We have them also in brown and in gold. Excuse me, that's not true. In gold and in red. Okay, now you might think that that's going to be pretty fussy to get those little beads in place, and I'm here to tell you it's super, super simple. So you want to put your project in something. We like to use this tray. You can use anything from home, whatever you like, but we like the tray because it's also got a funnel to put the beads back in. So you can do it 2 ways. You can use this. This is holding the specialist glue, and this is the mini little containers, and just squeeze them where you want the beads to go. And you want to do 1 color of bead at a time. So let's pretend we're just going to do the black. Now you might want to do a larger area like Lene has done. You might just need dots, just whatever you think. Okay, now I'm going to put the pin back in, and I'm just going to kind of demonstrate this. So I've got ink there. Then I simply pour on the beads, tap them off. The beads are going to stick to the glue, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, if you want to push them around a little bit, that's fine. And then you can put them back right into your Ziploc baggie. So that works perfectly. You can also use the E6000 glue, because it will give a little bit of height to your beads. So you can use either one, makes no difference. But I will tell you, it's just that simple. You don't have to place every single bead separately, so it's just easy. Okay, and over here she's used the green beads, and that's really interesting because these are really going over some of the art, and that worked nicely. And then she added some of the pink flowers. And you can see this has got light and medium and a brighter pink. Now these already have a pearl in the center, so just attach those as you see. The hello she did also, and she double die cut this. So she cut it out of the light green and the dark green, and then overlap them as you can see. So that looks really nice. Now the inside of her card, okay. So she has gone back. Remember, she used this area on the front. Well, she's going to flip this over and use another area on the inside. And looks to me like it's going to be that one, or it could be this one. Yep, there you go. And simply trim it, do the inking on the edge. And then she has taken out of the cutouts that are in the package. So happy birthday is right down here. And clever lady, she let this become a pocket. So simply by gluing just on 3 sides and attaching it, then she has room for this piece that she cut out. She put a little ribbon on it. And then she also used some dazzles. And you can see those right there, just the word hugs. So that worked very nicely. And that finishes this card. Now, with the tent cards, you also have the envelopes, so that makes it really nice. Okay, let's go see what our owl is doing. And this is really a fun card. And the way it is done is this is going to open, and this is going to open. So you kind of have a card within a card, which is always kind of fun. And this is what I meant on our solid cardstocks. You've got a lighter color on one side and a darker color or a darker shade on the other side, but the same color. And that's nice in a situation like this and in many situations. So we're going to start first with our card. This is the regular 5 by 6.5. And what Lene did is she simply drew a line on the front of her card from the upper left to the lower right. Just drew that line and then trimmed off this piece. That way she had this flap. Now the second part of this is this piece, and this is 8 inches by 5 inches. Simply score it in the middle, and then when you glue it in place, you just want to have everything ready. So before you do anything more, we're going to do some putting some paper on our card. So I'm going to go into our owls. We're going to use that, but we're also going to use the back side of it. So what you may want to do to begin with is to take one of the owls and trim it to fit. And then Lene matted it. In fact, let me just, can you see that silver shine? Well, she matted it on our hammered silver. And this is actually hammered. I mean, it's, you can feel it, it's 3-dimensional. So she matted that little guy onto the hammered silver, and she did ink the edges. This time she's using the gingerbread. And then she glued that to her card front. Now notice she glued it with the fold on the right. Normally it would be on the left, but want the fold on the right. Then we're going to set that aside. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you about doing that first is because we're going to use the back side of it or the rest of this for more of the card. So I don't want you cutting into something that you're going to need later on, okay? So the inside of our card is going to use this part. So it starts right here. In fact, you can see it. Let me turn it this way. Okay, so it's going to start right here, and it's just, we've trimmed around him, so we've got all of this left. So using this and turning it upside down and gluing that to the inside of our card, and then using that cutoff piece to give us a pattern for making another triangle to glue right here and to glue right here. Now you'll notice that all of these have the gingerbread inking on the edges, so front and back and inside, okay? So you want to have all of those placed, and you want to have him on so that you know what other pieces you can use. That makes sense? I thought it would. Now, the other thing is that for the inside of this card, you can use the back of the paper. So you're getting all of this probably out of one sheet of paper. And you can see that these are kind of ghosted. Well, that's where she used it on the inside of her card. And that worked nicely. Now, the From Me to You, that is on the cutouts. Let me grab that sheet. From Me to You right here. And you can see that she did do some inking. In fact, let me get that closer together so you can really tell. So I think you can tell that that's a little brown around the edges. So that's here. And then this little piece is right here. So everything coordinates. Everything works together, and that's perfect. Now, for our words, what she has done is she's used Sending Smiles on the front of her card. Now, she wanted silver, and in the package, you've got black, white, gold, and silver, so that works nicely. And then she added white flowers, and I think that was a really good choice because you don't want to take away from all the foliage, the white foliage that's hiding our little owl, our little shy owl. So those are doing a nice job. Now the ribbon comes from that same crepe ribbon set. There is a cream in there. I think it's tucked underneath the other colors, but that's going to do a nice job. And you can position this, let me just have you notice this, that the fold of this is right next to that bottom part of the flap, and then it just folds that way. Then on the inside, there's the word friend. Now, where she got that was from a package of We're Together that's called More Colors, and it has the silver friend in there, and it also has these little flowers that you can add as Lene has done, so you can see those. So you've got room to write your message, and you've got a very unique covering. I think this is just one of those card ideas that's going to work really, really well for lots of other cards. So you might want to hang on to this idea. Okay, I have one last card with some other fun things to share with you. Okay, isn't that fun? Now, this is, again, our 5 by 6.5 inch card. And what she used was this one. So there's one wood background, and it has this beautiful foliage at the bottom. Now, she did trim it smaller than our 5 by 6.5 inch card, but she did cover her whole card with that brown out of the solid cardstock. So cover your card. The way that you can do that, just in case that's a new term for you, is take your glue and go all the way on 4 edges. I like to make a big X in the middle, and then position your paper or your cardstock along one fold and even to one end. Turn your card over, press down, use your scissors or your paper trimmer to trim it, and it will always match. No measuring needed. That's always nice to hear, isn't it? Now, so then you've got your green on the front, so that's working nicely. And then Lene did a clever thing with a doily, and let me open up this package. I think you get 20 doilies in the package, and this has just become a staple. However, I would not have thought of using a doily with hidden animals. Just wouldn't have occurred to me, but happily it occurred to her. So she folded it in half and had it not right in half, but a little off. So just like this. And then she inked the edges. Now you can use let me see, she's used the cocoa bean just to go right along the edge. Again, you'd want to use that with an applicator, a blending brush or a blending tool. And that is not quite in half, just a little bit down from in half of her card. Now when she glued that, just like something that she did earlier, this became a pocket. So you're just going to glue that curve, okay, not the top of it. So that's a good thing to remember. Now, the Just For You, that is out of the cutouts, and it's right here, all ready for you, already matted, just super easy. Now you can put other things on it. She just elected to use some of the copper dazzles. And we have our copper ferns coming back, just peeking out right there also. Now we've got chipboard to talk about, and here is the chipboard again. Now remember, she used one little piece earlier, but here is the rabbit, and we're going to get in super close to that because I want to show you what's going on. So with our bunny, can you see the lines that are right there? Look how easy it is to color in. It just works so well. And she did use the tri-blend markers that we used earlier. So she used the bright pink and the citrus green. The citrus green obviously is for the leaves, but then she also used the tan. And the tan is going to allow you to do all of that brown. So the light tan in the middle gets darker on the edges. And you can see the green. And so this is one piece with the bunny. But with that greenery, here is the biggest piece. She didn't do any, well, I guess she did tan with it, but also the green, the citrus green on the leaves. So that is glued down first, and then this is glued and foam taped just to keep it level. Copper leaf, our little cutout. But then up here, she's taken two, let's see, we've got this long piece right here and a shorter piece. And she's placed those. Very, very nice. And then the copper jewel dazzles, you see the little dazzles up there? That just adds a bit of sparkle, and that's nice. Now down below, we have the copper border dazzles. So we are doing copper like crazy. And I will tell you, I think copper works always so well anytime you've got browns going on. So this is the copper border, and it's down at the bottom, the jewel, and then the copper ferns. All three of them are playing, just doing a nice job. Inside, this is another piece of that same paper. A note to make you smile. Well, that's right here on our cutout sheet. The copper ferns and the copper jewel dazzles and the copper border are all used on the inside, just exactly as they were on the front. So some nice things going on. Okay, well, that's what I have to share with you about the new release from Hot Off the Press. So we have Hidden Animals 12 by 12 pattern cardstock, Hidden Animals 12 by 12 solid cardstock. We have the 31 die cuts. We have the cutting dies, the chipboard, and the 6 by 6, all of them. Now, almost all of them have an idea on the back with instructions just to get you started. So that way, we always get you an idea just to inspire your creative spirit, as we like to say. I did have one customer comment because she belongs to our VIPs. She got the group early. She got 6 sheets. In fact, this is it. If you're not signed up on our website, when you go to check out to be a VIP, do click in, do sign up, and just make sure whenever you check out, you use that that sign in, because when you reach $500, you will get these every single month. You'll get a free selection of our brand new release, and that's nice to have. So anyway, one of the people said she didn't think she was going to like it, well, just at first glance, but when she got the papers and really looked, she fell in love with them, especially that owl. So just want to tell you about that. Now we do have a money saver, as always. It's on the right-hand side of our screen. The other thing that is there are some subscriptions. Now, if you would like to get all of these every month, maybe not the cutting dies, we call it I Want It All. You will save 20%, and you will get them before this webisode. Now, as I said, there are ideas on all the packages, so you're going to have ideas to get started just at the moment they arrive. Now, if you would like everything, and that is including the cutting dies, we call it I Really Want It All subscription. Same idea, you save the 20%. You're going to get this before we have the webisode. And these are both on the right-hand side of the screen. Just one more thing I want to tell you, there's probably more than one, but if you do get our emails, you will see this. The beginning of November will be the free thing. We will send you an email and tell you about it. If some of these look familiar, maybe this one will. These are from the papers, but you can print these out as often as you want, and we are welcome to use them. We just think it's a nice way to say thank you. And speaking of which, if you are watching this on YouTube, we hope that you will head on over to paperwishes.com after you subscribe, after maybe you leave a comment. That would be great. But then head on over, because you know the only place that you can find these is at paperwishes.com, and we would love to share them with you, as we would, well, all the time. And you will see the money saver. You'll see all the things on the right-hand side. You can go down below and see exactly what products Lene used in addition to this collection. So I want to thank Lene for doing a wonderful job and for kind of just doing even more with this wonderful collection. And I know some of you are deep into Christmas making, but it's kind of nice to have something else too. So that's been appreciated by many of you, and we thank you for your comments. Okay, well, thank you, Lene, once again, and I want to thank all of you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you next time.